Okay, in this video I'm going over UFC 319. I'm going over just the main card, and overall I think this card is pretty damn good. So we're going to start with Tim Elliott versus Kaya Sakura. This one was extremely unexpected for me. I really thought Kaya Sakura was going to be able to beat Tim Elliott, and I think everybody else kind of agreed. But he did not end up getting it done. Tim Elliott pulled off a weird, super weird striking performance that did not look great whatsoever. It looked really awkward and like he was trying to be fancy and cool, like he was trying to pull an MVP, but wasn't landing anything and was just looking odd and looking like he was schizophrenic. And Kaiser was landing really good shots in the first round. He was landing clean. He was landing powerful. He won the first round clearly. Second round comes around. He's still winning the first round on the feet, or the second round on the feet, outstriking Tim Elliott in pretty much every exchange. He's looking crisp. He's looking quick. And then he shoves his head into a guillotine and taps to Tim Elliott in mount on a guillotine. Kind of sick. It was crazy to see Tim Elliott win that way, but he gets it done. It was super surprising. I really didn't think Kai Sakura was going to go out like that. I don't know if they're going to cut him. I don't know if they're going to keep him around. But if you can't beat Tim Elliott at this point, you're not going to get the belt by any means. So is it even worth having him around? I like Kai Sakura as a fighter. I think he's really fun. But Tim Elliott's old as fuck. He's like 39. He's on a two-fight winning streak, which is dope. But this is a 2-year layoff for him, and he comes back and beats Kaya Sakura by submission. It's pretty impressive. But I'm not expecting Tim Elliott to go on a super big run after this. But beating Kaya Sakura is no joke. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's a slight joke, but he still gets it done. Pretty impressive. Next. Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. So this is exactly how I thought it was going to go down. Michael Venom Page is too good at point striking on the feet. He's too fucking good at point fighting on the feet. UFC fighters are not going to be able to beat Michael Venom Page on a feet at all, especially at middleweight in a point fight, in a point striking setting. It's not going to happen. You're not going to outpoint Michael Venom Page. It's not going to work. You have to grapple offensively, efficiently. And Michael Venom Page doesn't have very good offensive he doesn't have good takedown defense, but it's not like terrible. What was more terrible was Jared Cannonier's offensive grappling. He's not very good at it. I knew that going in. He tried to grapple with Page, but it just didn't work out. He was getting hit on the feet too much, but not like a crazy amount. Michael's not very. Michael Venom Page, I keep saying Venom, I don't know why, is very exciting, but he doesn't really finish anybody. But he's always doing something cool, but he's just never doing it to the next level. He's not getting finishes, but he's always winning the fight. And he's always kind of embarrassing his opponent, which makes them frustrated and makes them whiff more and makes him land his jab a little bit more. He only really has a jab and a jab, right hand, and a leg kick every once in a while. That's really all he has. But it works really well because you can't catch him. He has such good lateral movement and distance management, and he's annoying as fuck and gets in your head. It's impossible to hit him. It's possible to win a striking match. And Jared Cannonier's just too slow. He doesn't have the grappling to beat him. You need grappling to beat him, and he doesn't have it. So Michael Venom ended up just striking him the first 2 rounds pretty clearly. Knocked him down twice. They didn't count it really as knockdowns, I don't think, which is kind of stupid to me. I think he knocked him down. He stumbled him. It won him the fight either way. And in the third round, Jared was able to grapple him and hold him up against the cage for a bit. So it's not like he didn't do anything at all. He still made it close. You're going to make it close against Page, but you're going to get outpointed. And that's exactly what happened. Page gets it done. Not super exciting, but not super boring, like every single Michael Page fight. So, next, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. So now we get to the big leagues. We get to the super fun shit of this main card, which was back-to-back spinning elbow finishes, starting with Carlos Prates' spinning back elbow finish against Jeff Neal. After a pretty much flawless performance by Carlos Prates, his game plan going in was very clean. He's very good at striking in general, but he's very good at lateral movements, keeping his distance, defending well, and countering when he needs to. Jeff Neal pushes forward, he pushes backward. He's very fucking front and back movement. Carlos Prates was able to confuse him a little bit on the feet, able to find his rhythm, able to strike his head off a little bit in the first round. Jeff Neal landed a couple strikes, but Carlos Prates was obviously ahead, starting to get his rhythm. He's very fun when he starts to get confident. These Brazilians, these tall, lengthy Brazilians like Pereira, Prates, are very just fucking fun when they get into their confident state. They start putting their hand out and distance managing, grabbing hands. They start really like moving their body. Like you can tell when they're feeling it and when you know they're going to knock out their opponent very soon. Pereira does it. Gene Silva does it. Prates does it. You know something's coming. You can almost anticipate it. And then it happened. Carlos Prates wings a spinning back elbow and knocks out Jeff Neal bad. And it was incredibly impressive. Super fun moment. My favorite moment of the card, just because I like Prates more than Lerone Murphy. But next, we have Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico, which was equally as cool. Maybe a little bit. Uh, it was more. It was a way more clean finish, I would say, but it's just Lerone Murphy, so it was a little bit sour for me. Also because I picked Aaron Pico. I picked Carlos Prates by first round knockout, by the way. But Aaron Pico starts the fight doing very well. He's grappling well. He's putting a pressure on Lerone Murphy that's getting to Lerone a little bit. To me, I'm sensing a little bit of Leon Edwards in him. He's starting to kind of feel it. He's starting to get overwhelmed. He's starting to get pressured. But the entire time, Lerone Murphy was picking up on stuff. He was picking up on reads. He was kind of getting Aaron Pico's timing down a little bit. Pico's trying to hit him. He's hitting him clean to the body. He's throwing hooks upstairs. He's putting a good, clean pressure. And he's winning the fight. But then Lerone Murphy steps through with a spinning elbow and fucking flatlines Aaron Pico so badly in the first round. Aaron's down for the count for like 5 minutes. It was brutal. And Lerone Murphy gets the first fucking finish he's gotten in so long against Aaron Pico in the most insane, spectacular way you could possibly get a finish. So a huge win for Lerone Murphy and his star power going forward. You get there's a very big chance that Lerone Murphy gets a title shot next because of this. Movsar Evloev's not doing that, and he wasn't going to do that against Aaron Pico if that fight went through. Lerone Murphy took this on short notice against Aaron Pico, and then spinning elbow flatline KO'd him. Incredible. Amazing knockout. Aaron Pico was doing pretty good, and it sucks to see a little bit. If it wasn't so dope, I'd be pretty pissed, but it was sick. But Aaron Pico is doing pretty good. And it's sad to see because he's dead and he doesn't have a great chin. And he's probably going to go down that path in his career. He's going to start snowballing, I think, and it's going to get chinned more and more and more. So it just kind of sucks to see because I like Aaron Pico. I don't wanted to see him at the top of featherweight. But we got Lerone Murphy. Maybe he can start making shit really fun. But that, to me, this seems like a headshot dead moment, a Leon Edwards head kick over Usman moment, where it's like, holy shit, Lerone Murphy's so much fun now. He's a superstar. That was sick. And then we're going to get a couple more boring decisions. He's probably going to get dominated by Volk. And it's just like, okay. He wasn't that cool. He just got really, really lucky. Or maybe he'll go away from the Leon Edwards treatment and start getting highlight fucking finishes in every single one of his fights. You never know. So, good for Lerone Murphy. Very sick. Next, we have the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. This was horrible to watch. And I'm saying that with 100% certainty in my heart. This was the worst fucking title fight ever. It wasn't. Carlos Esparza versus whoever, Rose Namajunas is alive and well, as the worst title fight of all time. But this one comes fucking close. Khamzat Chimaev wins this fight, completely dominating Dricus du Plessis, fucking obliterating him in the most boring and horrible way you could possibly do it, which was taking him down, getting side control, getting a crucifix, hitting the babyest, tiniest hammer fist jerking off ground and pound of all time on Dricus's like earlobe, holding that out for the whole entirety of the round, getting up, doing the exact same thing. To be fair, Khamzat Chimaev's grappling is incredible. It's insane how good he is at controlling his opponent. But at the same time, he's not taking risks to get, like, you can't really lose a position if you're not willing to cause damage or move at all in that position. So Chimaev's just taking him down and keeping him there for the entire fight. And Dricus Du Plessis is not able to do shit because Khamzat's not willing to do anything risky to cause damage or go for a submission. So Dricus doesn't have any space whatsoever to get up, so he just couldn't. But the crucifixes were extremely impressive. You don't see that every day. You don't see someone getting crucifixed every day, and he got like 6 different crucifix positions for like 2 minutes each. Incredible ability to do that against a guy like Dricus, who's strong and was on such a incredible win streak as he was before for this. But at the same time, it was boring as fuck. And okay, for reference, Khamzat Chimaev landed 500 total strikes, give or take a couple. 500 total strikes, and 37 of them, or something like that, in the 30s, were significant. And he had 22 minutes of ground control or some shit. To me, that is sad. That is so sad to see. From such a dominant performance, it was so not dominant. He landed 500 strikes. 30 of them were significant. Du Plessis got close to those numbers, or he might have beat those numbers in significant strikes. That is so bad. When you're dominating the fight that hard, you should have just battered him and blew his fucking face up. 20 minutes of ground control. There's a reason that doesn't happen. It's because when anybody else gets that amount of control, they stop the fucking fight due to damage from ground and pound. If you have that control, you should be obliterating your opponent. And Khamzat Chimaev could not posture and throw to save his life. He couldn't even go for a submission. He went for like 2 half-assed rear naked chokes. Du Plessis in the 5th round reverses position on a takedown, gets him full mount on Khamzat Chimaev, and then Khamzat rolls to his back, and Dricus Du Plessis goes for a fence crank, and he is the one that got the closest submission in this whole fight, even though Khamzat Chimaev had 20 minutes of ground control. It's just odd. It's not good. It really ruins the hype for me for Chimaev, to be honest. I'm not going to be super excited about his fights going forward. He used to be the fun grappler. That's what he was to me. He was the fun grappler. Finally, we have a grappler that just fucking goes for the finish. And he's going to fucking just destroy you on the ground. And he's not going to hold position. He's going to fucking go for a submission no matter what. Or he's going to fucking posture, rain down shots like a freak. But he didn't even try. He just held him. And he kept holding his back and aiming against the thigh. So boring. But at the same time, impressive to do to Du Plessis. It's not what I expected whatsoever, so I have to give him credit. And Dricus wasn't able to stuff any takedown, really. He stuffed like one and then got taken down like 2 seconds after. I think he got taken down like 11 or 12 times, maybe more. Just terrible takedown defense from Dricus. But every single time they were on the feet, which was like a minute total or some shit, Dricus was landing way better. It's just so sad to see because that's what I wanted this to. This was my most anticipated matchup of the entire year. This was the most interesting style matchup to me. I was so excited for this fight. I was so fucking excited. And then we got this as the main event. After the 2 spinning elbow KOs, I was thinking Dricus is about to make this 3 spinning elbow KOs in a row for the first time in UFC history. I was like, fuck yeah, this is going to be dope. This is going to be a scrap. I thought Khamzat, if he was going to win, was going to knock him out. I was like, damn, this is going to be dope. Everybody thought that. It was the most boring fucking fight ever. But it was also a spectacle in a way because Khamzat Chimaev 50-40 forward him, which is pretty much never been. I don't think it's ever been done in a title fight ever. So it's super embarrassing for Dricus, and it gives some I guess it gives hype to Khamzat's stats. But anybody who actually watched the fight knows that shit was boring as fuck. And to me, I don't think that increases his star power. The crowd went from everybody cheering Khamzat at the very beginning, everybody cheering Khamzat, everybody booing Dricus, and by the end of the fight, they were all booing Chimaev and cheering Dricus. And I guess it's ironic, as Dricus said they were gonna do that by the end of the night, that they were gonna be cheering for him instead of booing, and they were, to be honest, but it was just not for the reason he wanted. But overall, dominant performance from Khamzat, extremely good grappling, but that was the stinkiest fucking fight I've had to watch as of recently. So, that's about it. And I hope Chimaev gets in there soon so we can see another matchup that he can do that against whoever the fuck against, because middleweight's kind of ass, and he could probably do that against everybody. So, overall, kind of disappointed in that. But whatever. We'll move on from this card and keep going, and I'll be a UFC fan for forever no matter what, so it doesn't even matter. So, I'll see you soon.